it's Kristen and this is the New Year's book tag. So this tag was originally created years ago by Heather at Bookables. I'll put her channel linked down below. These are just a few questions about New Year's, what you're planning to read this year, etc. So I've got my questions down here and let's just jump into it. But question one is, how many books are you planning to read this year? My goal is to read 50 books. Last year my goal was to read 40. I ended up reading 58, which I was very impressed by. So I didn't want to go for like 60 books because I thought that was a little much, but considering I did 40 quite easily, I thought I'll up it to 50. I know I've done more than 50 before, but I sort of figure you never know how busy your year's gonna be, and I didn't want to go for too lofty of a goal and then end up having a really busy year and not having time to read what I wanted to. So yeah, I thought 50 books, it's more than last year in terms of goal, but it's not more than I've ever read before. So it's an achievable goal that if I hit it, I'll be very happy with still. But I know that it's doable, you know. So yeah, 50 books is my plan for this year. Question two is, name 5 books you didn't get to last year but are making a priority this year. So one for me is A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This I meant to read around like Halloween time and I just never got around to it, but I've heard good things. This is about Constanta, who is a wife of Dracula, and it's her, I believe, like writing to Dracula about their relationship, how it was like abusive, and just like all the breakdowns of her as a character and their relationship and relationship with other people. I've heard good things. I like a vampire book. I like a darker emotional book, so I think this one will be good. And the cover is stunning. So yeah, I want to get to this one. I also want to read Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. This is one of my sisters that I've been meaning to read for years, and then last year she actually physically gave it to me and went, "You said you want to read it, come on, read it." And yeah, I've had it in my possession since last year. Yeah, I think she gave it to me towards the end of the year, like maybe around October, November time. I just didn't then read it when I should have, so I definitely need to read this so I can give it back to her. This is about a young woman who is a pirate, gets involved with pirates. She's a 17-year-old pirate captain, and she deliberately allows herself to be captured by her enemies. Then I think there's like a bit of a enemies to lovers romance in here. I just think it sounds fun. I love a pirate story. And I've not read one for ages, so I just want to read about pirates. I do believe this one is young adult, which I'm sort of veering away from, but my sister said it's still very enjoyable and it is very readable, so I thought I'll give it a go. So got to get to that one. Next I have Happy Hour by Marlo Granados. This one is about 2 women who moved to New York to like live their lives and stuff. And by day, I think they're like struggling with money, struggling with where to live, just day to day young broke struggles. But by night, they sort of go out and pretend to be really glamorous and are sort of living these like double lives and just trying to make the most of being in New York. And I thought that just sounded really interesting. I heard someone talk about this, I can't remember who it was now, but hearing them talk about it just really sold me on this book. And I love books about young women like struggling with their lives, trying to make it in life. I thought it sounded interesting. I also want to read For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, because again, I meant to read it last year and I didn't. This one was actually a really good find in a charity shop. I was surprised that I came across it, picked it up very excitedly, and then just never read it. So this one, it says, the first daughter is for the throne, the second daughter is for the wolf. As the only second daughter born in centuries, Red has one purpose: to be sacrificed to the wolf in the wood in order to save her kingdom. She's almost relieved to go, plagued by a dangerous power she can't control. At least she knows that in the Wilderwood she can't hurt those she loves again. But the legends lie. The wolf is a man, not a monster. Her magic is a calling, not a curse. And if she doesn't learn how to use it, the Wilderwood and her world will be lost forever. I think I just pronounced Wilderwood, two different ways. But yes, this one just sounds really intriguing to me. I'm trying to get back into fantasy, and the wolf is a man, not a monster, intrigues me. And yeah, I love like a wilderness, wild wood setting, and this cover really intrigues me as well. So yes, can't wait to get to this one because I've got to get to it. And lastly, of the books that I didn't read last year that I wanted to, but I will read this year, we have Shuggie Bain by Douglas Stewart. This one is just about a young boy growing up in the 80s, and it's him dealing with a very troubled home life and his own personal struggles with his identity. And yeah, I've just heard that it's a very like affecting, heartfelt, heartbreaking story. It just intrigued me. It won the 2020 Booker Prize, and I heard a lot about it when it came out and when it won. And I just want to see what the fuss is about it. But I think I just kept putting this one off because I think it will be very tough to read, and so I kept being like, no, I want a happy book, or I want a magic book or something, whereas this is just yeah, gonna be an intense time, but it is one I want to get to. Question 3 is, what genre do you want to read more of? For me, that's fantasy this year. I read some fantasy last year. I was actually surprised at the end of the year by how much fantasy I had read. And I had a great time with the fantasy I did read, so I definitely want to read more of it. I've got some cool looking fantasy things on my TBR, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, fantasy. 2024 is gonna be my year of fantasy. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, it's a genre I really want to get back into, because when I was younger I used to read like mostly just fantasy, paranormal, supernatural kind of stuff, and then I really fell off that kind of thing, reading it occasionally but not a ton. But yeah, I have a lot of fantasy recently that I've acquired that I'm excited about. My sister is very into fantasy, so she's got a lot of books that I could borrow that sound really cool as well. So yeah, 2024, year of fantasy. Let's go. Question 4 is, name 3 non-bookish goals. Oh, okay, here we go. Most of my goals are like book related, channel related, writing related. Yeah, that's like what my life revolves around mostly in my free time, so it's what I focus my goals on because they're the ones that I think I can achieve, even though I didn't achieve my goals last year. Yeah, they're the ones that I tend to focus on because they're the ones I can like write lists for and organize. But I guess non-bookish goals, I would like to, I guess, just like get out and do more. I don't like go out and do stuff a lot. But I did start towards the end of last year. In October, my sister and I went out to a museum for the day, and then we went to a book signing. We went to this like intimate gig night for an artist called Baby Queen, where she did this intimate gig before her album came out, and it was great. Me and my friend went to see Maisie Peters perform, which started off as a fun night, and then I got really ill and had to leave. It makes me sad to think about it. So towards the end of the year, I had stuff like I had all those things. I had my holiday to Croatia. I had like events for work, but they were like in other venues, and it was lots of people invited, and it was quite exciting. So yeah, I just want to get out and do more. So that is one of my goals: get out and do more, and just have fun, do different experiences, try new things. My next goal, I guess, would be to get back into running properly. I like to run. I ran like sort of casually years ago, and then I ran with like a proper training regime, because I did a half marathon years ago now, 2019. I did a half marathon, and that felt great. And then after the half marathon, I sort of kept running, but not a ton. And then with like lockdowns and getting back into life after lockdown, my running just really fell off. And then last year I tried to get back into running by doing like the Couch to 5K, and I just kept getting like various sicknesses and illnesses, and so I found it really hard to get back into running. But this year I really want to try and get back into running regularly, like 2-3 times a week, because it's just such like a release, and I like to get outdoors. And yeah, I think I want to do another half marathon, even though I finished the half marathon last time and went, why the hell did I do that? Never again. It's been enough years now that I'm like, yeah, I'll do it again. Yeah. So yeah, I want to get back into running. So that's my second goal. And then my third goal is to spend more time with friends. This sort of goes into the get out and do more stuff one. But yeah, I want to spend time with friends more, and spend time with friends I don't see as much. I have booked a holiday with my 2 like best uni friends in October. We've rented like a little farm cottage in like a field woodland area. It's going to be so cute. Little autumn getaway. I'm also seeing them in June, so like I didn't see them at all last year because things never aligned, and this year I'm definitely seeing them twice. So that's so exciting. And then yeah, I just need to like, even if it's just going to the pub, just see my friends more. I've already scheduled in a games night. We've already scheduled in a birthday dinner. So we're off to a good start. I have things in my diary. So as long as I can keep that momentum after things have taken place, and we don't just do birthday dinner January, games night March, and then I don't see them again for months. Yeah, I just want to see my friends like fairly consistently, because that, it just gives me something to look forward to. Socializing is always good, I think, if you're looking forward to it. Yeah, just need to see my friends more. Question 5, we're back to the book questions. What is a book that you've had forever and still need to read? For me, that I think would be All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Dower. It's one of the oldest books on my TBR. I bought it when I went to university, I think in my first year, which was 10 years ago, and I've never read it. So that's on the TBR for this year. I think I'm gonna read like any book that I got like 9-10 years ago that's still on my TBR has got to be read this year, because that's ridiculous. If it goes past 10 years of being on my TBR, that's nonsensical. That's ridiculous. So it's got to happen. It's got to happen. Question 6 is, what is one word you're hoping your year will be? I struggled with this one. I think I'm just gonna go for different. just different in lots of ways. Like there's an element I feel like I'm just a bit stuck in a rut. Last year I was ill quite a lot, so I hope I'm not, so I hope that's different this year. And yeah, in terms of like my other goals, like running more, seeing friends more, getting out and doing more, like those are differences I can make for this year. So yeah, I'm just hoping things are different, like good different, but different. I think I need to change things up a bit in my life. So yeah, I feel like I need to come back to this video at the end of the year, even though these aren't like goals and these aren't like, this isn't my goals video. I feel like I need to revisit this and see if I read these books and if I like achieved any of these sort of mini goals. We'll see. Do you have any goals? Do you have any goals for the year in terms of reading or like personal? Because I think question 7 of this was to tag someone. I don't have anyone specific to tag, so if you make videos and you think this is like an interesting tag and you want to answer these questions, this is me tagging you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!